Al Mag asked me to address this group, responding to some questions about the media, how the media works, how editors think, and all that kind of stuff. I'm happy to do it because Al's a great guy, and I owe him. And I'm up here at Mother Road Brewing Company in Flagstaff, where apparently, Al, you're a pretty famous guy. How famous are you?
The guy owes me $3.33.
So Al, the next time you come up here, bring a little extra money, okay? Because apparently you ran out on your last tab. Your first question was, what makes a good story? And often a good story addresses multiple media at the same time. For instance, we were involved in a project called the Drive for Innovation with Avnet, in which we drove around the country for a year in a Chevy Volt interviewing engineers. And every time we stopped and we did an interview, we captured it on video. And so we had a video interview that told a part of the story, and then we had an attendant blog post that went along with it, which fleshed the story out a little bit and also introduced the video. And so we balanced messages in both of those mediums for maximum impact. So how do I like to be approached? Well, Al, that's kind of a personal question. But to take it out of the realm of the personal, I often like to be approached with people who are carrying, for instance, a Mother Road roadside ale. But if we're talking about business here, let's be honest. Today, you have to approach editors wherever they are, okay? And so I don't mind being approached in any number of different ways. You can email me if you have my email address. You can direct message me on Twitter. They've just opened that up so you don't even have to follow me to direct message me or any other editor. You can connect with me on Facebook. You can do it on Google+. I'll take pitches anywhere, and I think most savvy editors will. For a number of different reasons. You always want to be connected with people who are savvy in social media and who are using that in clever ways to pitch stories. Again, we'll go back to the Drive for Innovation. So we'd finished with our meetings in Florida, and I got an email from a teacher at Brooks County High School here, Don Morgan. And he said, hey, I know you're coming up I-75. My kids are doing some fantastic stuff in biodiesel and other technology areas. That's a pitch. And that was a great way to approach us in a way that guaranteed that he was going to get us, because we're on the road, we're busy, we're not necessarily doing as much social media as we should. So, just an interesting example. Is social media important? Of course it's important, but it's important in varying levels. It depends on the editor, depends on the industry they're covering. In the software world, to reach out, to connect, and to share content with editors is a much different experience than it is in the electronics B2B. Why is that? Because engineers aren't bleeding edge adopters of social media for a lot of different reasons that I can get into, but I won't here. But they are in the software world, primarily because they're involved in the user interface. So there's a frustration that we all have that you think you sort of get your rhythm down on one or two social networks, and then something like Pinterest pops up, and then you have to learn about that, and isn't that a pain in the ass? Well, it is what it is. You just have to come to grips with the fact that these platforms are evolving. Do I have a pet peeve? Well, I do have a pet peeve, and one is when the beer gets down here, it makes me sad. But there's always more beer, right? Seriously though, I have a really simple pet peeve. If you're pitching an editor, don't read from a script. If you're pitching an editor, know the technology context. If you're pitching an editor, make sure that he or she is at the publication that you're pitching. There's a lot of turnover today. Things change quickly. And when editors get calls from people who don't know the context or where they are, it's a problem. Al, thanks for the opportunity to answer these questions. It's really fodder for a much longer panel conversation, but we can always talk about that. There's fantastic beer here at Mother Road Brewing Company in Flagstaff, Arizona, one of the happiest places on earth. And the only thing that's missing is a couple of dogs from Portillo's. Anyway, good luck at the event, and again, thanks for having me. Cheers.
Support for this program provided by
Mother Road Roadside Ale.